Beneath the roar of Spa's engines lies a story Ferrari hope to bury. It's July 24th, 4 days out from the Belgian Grand Prix. At Mugello, rumors of a secretive rear suspension test have surfaced, the kind of silver bullet upgrade desperate teams chase mid-season. But this isn't just any test. Ferrari deployed Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, the duo itching to pry open the SF25 stability conundrum. Cautious optimism drifts through Maranello's corridors. But make no mistake, optimism is earned, not granted. Suspension shift, was it performance or gambit? Hamilton and Leclerc's private laps shattered the Mugello silence. They rode the SF25 through controlled chaos, chasing ride height harmony and ride compliance. Press reports whisper, cautious optimism. But when you hear that in Ferrari speak, brace for a storm. Either triumph or failure looms large. The backdrop, a season derailed. Last year, Ferrari nearly toppled Red Bull. This year, for Leclerc podiums, 0 wins, overtaken by McLaren's surge. The SF25 limps with unpredictable handling, shuddering mid-corner, ping-ponging on curbs. Predictability, the cornerstone of setup, is gone. The paddock questions, can this suspension solve months of instability? Between the lines, changes at Mugello weren't just technical, they were psychological. Hamilton's arrival brought new data habits. Suddenly, telemetry becomes a weapon when he presses pedals in the new setup. It wasn't for show, it was an SOS to Maranello engineers. Fix it fast. As Spa weekend nears, the whisper is clear. Either Ferrari unveils a beast in Spa, or the test becomes a haunting what-if, and Maranello knows the next 4 days could rewrite their season's fate. Hamilton's silence during the Mugello test said more than any press release ever could. He didn't speak much, not to media, not to the cameras. But those inside the garage noticed something chilling. He requested telemetry overlays, not of Leclerc's laps, but of his own Mercedes runs from 2020. A coded move, a reminder, a warning. What was he comparing? Power delivery? Brake feedback? Not exactly. Sources inside Ferrari suggest he fixated on steering torque trace under a load, specifically how the car communicated at high speed. It was his way of asking, why does this still feel numb? And the answer wasn't simple. Because Ferrari's power steering system, outdated and unresponsive, was never built for Hamilton's style. Leclerc copes. He grew with the flaws. Hamilton doesn't cope, he confronts. That's why post-test, engineers quietly added a Hungary power steering mod to the upgrade list. Officially, in progress. Internally, fire drill. But why the urgency now? At Silverstone, both drivers cursed the car's behavior. But only Hamilton's feedback triggered internal action. Leclerc's voice was familiar. Hamilton's was external pressure personified, the kind Ferrari couldn't afford to ignore. This isn't just an upgrade. It's a shift in power, a battle for whose driving DNA defines Ferrari's future, the Academy Golden Boy or the 7-time outsider. And if Ferrari chooses wrong, telemetry won't be the only thing that gets erased. Leclerc smiled in public. But in the cool-down room, he cracked the code. It was Jeddah, round 5. A podium. Champagne. And yet, what Leclerc whispered to Piastri revealed everything. My steering wheel, mate, is so heavy. We have no assistance. Forget the momentary banter. That was a confession, not of pain, but of resignation. Of fighting a car that punishes precision. Of years adapting to a flaw that became normalized. That single phrase, no assistance was the scar tissue of a career spent wrestling machinery, not commanding it. Then came Hamilton. He didn't adapt. He interrogated, pushed the team to justify every corner's resistance. Asked why apex rotation felt delayed. Why mid-corner response dulled above 200 kilometers per hour. And in doing so, he shone a spotlight on Leclerc's quiet suffering. The internal consequence? Suddenly, steering weight became priority. Not aero, not cooling, not even tire degree engineers scrambled to replicate Mercedes's servo feedback because Hamilton refused to accept the Ferrari normal. The result? A divided garage. One camp pushing to evolve the car around Hamilton's instincts. Fast inputs, responsive chassis. Another defending Leclerc's years of adaptation. His sensitivity, his compromise. What started as feedback has now grown into a fundamental question. Who defines Ferrari's driving philosophy moving forward? Because only one star will win the war. And Spa may be the first visible casualty. What Ferrari called data gathering was actually a battle simulation. Giovinazzi ran first. Just 2 laps, enough to log a baseline. But that wasn't the goal. The real test began when Hamilton and Leclerc took over in different setups, at different times, under different fuel loads. Why? Because this wasn't about validating parts. It was about validating power. Insiders whispered this was a pecking order test. Leclerc, the loyalist, drove the known quantity first. Hamilton, the reconfigured suspension. The altered rear geometry. The new anti-dive mapping. His times weren't publicly shared. But telemetry leaks suggest something dramatic. Reduced rear instability under transient loads.